Fox Sports Midwest is very proud to honor our United States veterans. We give thanks to those among us who have served our country and those who gave their life in the line of duty or passed on afterwards. As the Blues celebrate Military Night tonight here at Scott Trade Center. Time to check tonight's Dobbs starting goaltenders. Jaro Halak coming off a 29-save shutout, the 17th of his career, right back in goal. Ben Scriver's one NHL win. That came in Columbus on November 30, was pulled in his last start. For the Blues, it is Steen, Arnott, and Langenbrunner against the line of Matt Fratton, David Steckel, and Matthew Lombardi. Shattenkirk and Jackman on defense. Blues hockey brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And underway with the first period. Shattenkirk throws it in. Number 8 is Mike Commissera. Far side, Arnott goes down low on Fratton. And now the Leafs come up with it and worked ahead by John Michael Lyles, who played with Shattenkirk in Colorado last year. Now Steen trying to work it in there. And the former first rounder by the Maple Leafs gets it back of the goal. Steen trying to center it. Lyles had his pocket picked by Steen, but now the Leafs get it back. And it's fired away to center ice by Matthew Lombardi. And now Cole's pass. Look out, Ken Hitchcock behind the Blues bench. And the coach was very alert back there.
And that's exactly the style of play that Ken Hitchcock's looking for here. We're talking about a 200-foot game, but we're also talking, as he fixes his hair with that puck heading that way, the fact that you want to get on the Toronto Maple Leafs defensemen. You want to make them turn, you want to make them push back, pivot, and get back and retrieve pucks. So right off the hop, Steen does that, and then Shattenkirk makes sure he gets it in deep.
Now it is the Kessel line. He's on with Bozek and Lupul against David Backus's unit, and Backus throws it in deep. It's Carl Gunnarsson there. Held in, Pollock a shot, and that is well wide of the Maple Leaf goal. Again, Ben Scrivens in goal tonight. 6'2", 192, signed as a free agent. Had good numbers in the American League this year. Now Oshie in front for Berglund, and can't get it on goal. And now Berglund down low. Blues are changing, and getting the puck back for the Leafs is Jake Gardner. And now turning Gunnarsson. Oh, and Berglund almost grabbed him.
Good pressure, though. Real good, tenacious pressure there by Berglund.
But you saw his hand come off his stick, Darren, and
you hear that quick oh when that happens, huh, right away?
And the Leafs tip it out, and played by the Blues. And Koliakovo, another former first-rounder of Toronto. Here's D'Agostini, a drive. Hit a leg, went well wide. Nickel for Koliakovo. That shot right on goal, and a save there by Scrivens.
Yeah, and then D'Agostini had a whack at it as well, kind of a half-volley kind of play, and it just got blocked. Otherwise, Scrivens was out of position.
And the Blues dump it in. That would have been icing, but Scrivens played it back of the goal. And now Luke Shen up for Clark MacArthur, who wears number 16. And Grachev back of the Blues goal. Puck centered right through the goal crease area. And now it's Reeves after it. And he'll work it on to center ice. Nickel, who missed most of the last game. And then Shattenkirk wanders in. Kevin Shattenkirk a shot. Big rebound off of Nichols. And it's covered by Scrivens.
Neutral zone play by Dion Phaneuf, the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He goes for the big hit and just misses as Ron Wilson looks on. Here's the hit, right, the step-up play right there on Nickel. Just missed. Reeves was right in the vicinity. See the defenseman Shattenkirk on the right side trying to make a play off the far pad. Both goaltenders, Gustafsson and Scrivens, with that horizontal vertical. So if you get it off that far pad, you're going to get a rebound in front, and that's what Shattenkirk was looking for.
Now Langenbrunner for the Blues. And his shot is blocked by Joey Crabb. On to center for Philippe Dupuis.
Interesting thing with that horizontal vertical that you talked about. I'm watching the practice this morning, working on that, and to me, I still don't understand what that's supposed to do, because boy, that always gives a beautiful rebound right back into the middle, and we just saw it right there. I don't get it.
No, I'm not particularly a big fan of it myself. I mean, basically because I wasn't taught that way, and every kid seems to be taught that way, and I was always taught just to stay square with the puck. And no need to even go down on one knee from that kind of an angle.
Here comes Patrick Berglund. He pulls up on Shen, back for Jackman, a shot. It'll lay out high in the corner. D'Agostini, he works over Joffrey Lupul. Puck comes around again. Jackman pinches in. Stewart to the front. D'Agostini, nifty pass to Berglund. Couldn't get a backhander away. Now Berglund again.
And Bozak's without a stick. Oh, prime opportunity for the Blues to take advantage of that.
Jackman, he can't lock it down. And Halak makes the big save on Kessel, who got behind the Blues defense. And the NHL's leading point producer had a great chance. And now the Leafs go offside.
A little hoister through the neutral zone, and Phil Kessel can absolutely fly. And he gets this one. There's the backhand hoister there by Lupul, just beyond the reach, although it hit the tip of the fingers of Jackman. He's diving. The puck is on end, and that shows you the confidence right now of Yaroslav Halak. Our Plaza Tire service shows the paddle down, reads the play, stayed up on his feet for as long as possible until he identified that was going to be a low shot on a rolling puck. Not an easy read there.
Kessel's extremely smart, too. Not only the speed, but that he read that so well. What an opportunist.
Now it is Sobotka. He had the Blues' first goal the other night. He is wrapped up by Phaneuf, the former Flame. And then it comes ahead from Matthew Lombardi, who missed most of last year in Nashville with a concussion. And Halak chips it to the far side for Oshie. Puck comes up the boards. Matt Fratton there to the line, and a shot was wide from Komisarek. And off the active end boards back to center ice. And now Lyles, who grew up in the Indianapolis area, still has family in the Indy area.
Yep, North Indy, and he is a terrific kid, and he's got unbelievable hockey sense as well. Just gets the puck out of the zone quickly, even though he's not the biggest guy. So you know that the Blues are going to want to be physical against him as much as possible.
And Shattenkirk said he learned a lot from Lyles last year in Colorado before his trade to St. Louis. Now the Blues in their own zone. Good job there by Reeves, who's running 4 lines, and that's Ken Hitchcock's way. He likes to get everybody involved. Now the Leafs in. Kuhlman comes around the near side. Gardner to the net, and Halak got his glove over. And of course, Nickel left after the first period the other night, so the coach could not get the 4 lines in like he wanted to the other evening.
No, it was a big hit on Stahlberg midway through the first period, and he got him with a shoulder to shoulder, but it was the shoulder pad of Stahlberg kind of nicked him up around the chin area.
Now the Blues give it away, but Langenbrunner comes over, checks Lupul, and the puck to the neutral zone. Now Lupul again. Oh, what a move. Tried to step inside of Jackman, but Arnott came back and offered support, and it goes down the ice. Shots 3-3. No score. Tipped away by Lupul. And now Kessel into the zone. That's punched back to center by Roman Polak. Here is Gunnarsson. Up the middle now for Tyler Bozak. Bozak in front. Halak got over. Made a great save on Kessel.
Wow, 2 big saves on the leading point getter.
And the Blues counter with Polak. And a pad save by Scrivens. What a dynamite chance there for Kessel. Now the Leafs turn it over. And Stewart has it. Stewart looks around. Fires one high over the goal. And there's Pietrangelo down low. To D'Agostini in front for Stewart. And that's off his foot. And knocked to the corner by Gunnarsson. And then it comes to center ice. Leafs are changing. Polak checked by Dupuis. And then the puck brought in there by Joey Crabb. A shot and a stick save by Halak. And it goes high into the netting. 2 great chances for Kessel. And Halak had both answers.
Well, one of the big changes, too, in the penalty kill has been the play of Yaroslav Halak. And the last couple of sequences, it's Phil Kessel. And this could be the show of the game right here, where the guy that lugs to fire the puck and Kessel, he drives hard to the net. He's going to be open. The Blues have got a better job of tightening it up against 81. He's not leading the league in points for nothing. But Yaroslav Halak has been real sharp here as you take a look at his career record against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Awfully good, going 6-2-2.
He was pulled in last year's game up in Toronto. And then Conklin finished up in the 6-5 shootout loss. Now Grachev against Luke Schenn.
Oh, and Nickel just came over and just drilled Schenn, knocking him to the ice.
Now it comes back for Pietrangelo. Quickly on for Reeves. Chops it. but can't get it out. Now Crab with it to the line. That's tipped away by Grachev, who has a very good stick, according to Ken Hitchcock, and he likes guys that have good sticks, especially on the penalty kill, and he wants to see more of Grachev.
Yep, he determines that. You get on the penalty kill if you do have that ability with your stick, and he thinks he does.
And a shot right on by Dupuis, and a save by Halak. And the Blues with it at center ice. Backus.
The Toronto Maple Leafs are coming off a 5-1 loss on home ice to Florida. They've regrouped quite well. They're getting the better chances here against the Blues. The Blues have got to sharpen up in their own zone.
And the game prior to that, they lost 7-0 at home to Boston. Now Backus with some room, and a shot, and a rebound to Sobotka. And Scrivens had the angle covered, and where's the puck? It's behind the net, I believe, and now covered. And we get a whistle. Let's check downstairs between the benches for this Bommarito Automotive Update.
I'm hanging today with the chicken parm here. Ray Ferraro is hanging on with me here too, so we are a little bit in each other's way here. But it's, again, I like what I'm seeing from the Blues right now. Ken Hitchcock talked, guys, before the game about numbers, the numbers game. If the Leafs have 2, we have to have 3 guys. Well, I've been watching that, and the Blues really have done a good job, especially in the offensive zone, with the numbers. They're trying to outnumber the Leafs all over the ice, and we'll have to continue to watch for it. If they can outnumber them all night, they're going to get, I think, the better of the scoring chances.
Yeah, you want to 2-on-1 them, 3-on-2 them, 4-on-3 them, and 5-on-4 them as much as possible, and you got a good chance of winning the hockey game, huh, Bernie? And a nice seeing Chicken Parm, former number 13 of the St. Louis Blues down there, working for TSN, as this is the national game in Canada. And everyone's sporting the poppies, too.
With Veterans Day tomorrow. And again, we thank them for all they have done and are doing around the world. Gunnarsson gets it. Fires it. Big rebound in front. And that was just wide as the rookie, Matt Fratton, had it. Now side of the goal. Oh. And a backhander came right through by Lombardi. And the Leafs are getting all the big chances early on.
Yaroslav Halak's giving them the goaltending that they need early.
Now Steen turns and fires that wide. The Blues had 23 shots the other night in that 3-0 win. Ken Hitchcock says he wants his club to get in the high 30s or 40 shots every night. That's his goal.
Well, it forces the defenseman to turn and pivot and face the other way, even if it's in a sharp angle area.
Here's Backus on the boards. He lost a handle, and the puck to center ice. Shots tonight, 7-6 Toronto. And it's Phaneuf back of his own goal. He leads the club in ice time over 26 minutes a night. Elevates one to center ice. And a good job there by Koliakovo. But that's knocked out of midair, and he gets it back. Or rather, Ian Cole, pardon me. To his partner, Polak. And Hitchcock was very impressed with Cole's game the other night.
Well, and that's why he's getting a chance here with Roman Polak to go up against Phil Kessel's line. And Ian Cole and Roman Polak went up against Patrick Kane's line with Hossa and Carcillo the other night with great success.
Now it's dumped in. Halak to play it on the backhand. Up on the wing for Matt D'Agostini. And then for Berglund. Blues play dump and chase. Chris Stewart, the first man in. He is rocked by Shen. Big hit there. 2 big boys there, huh? Luke Shen taken right after Pietrangelo, 5th overall. That was an 0-8. Now it's Stewart back of the goal for Berglund. In the scoreless game, Berglund gets free back there. Into Shattenkirk, a drive, and that was just high. And D'Agostini back of the cage. For Stewart, he looks around, and then back to the corner. Puck comes up the wall, and now tipped the loophole. And back to the St. Louis line. Leafs want to make a change. I like the way Shattenkirk cut the ice in half there, came right to the middle and just absolutely drilled Lupul while Lupul was going for a change. Well, Scrivens nearly misplayed that in front. And now MacArthur away for Toronto for Mikhail Grabowski, and the play is called offside. 9:26 to go, first period. Blues and Leafs are scoreless.
Well, the St. Louis Blues want to work on their foot speed as well, moving their feet, getting the puck deep, and turning that around, and it leads to our Toyota moving forward keys to the game. Don't exchange line rushes with this quick Maple Leaf team. Penetrate their D. Get in deep, get pucks in so they have to turn and pivot. And here's a good example here of the Blues, Berglund and Stewart. Stewart takes the hit there from Shen, but you see they want to get that puck deep, establish that work ethic down low, and see if they can't cause a couple of turnovers take advantage of this young goalie.
And now we get a penalty.
Is that on
Berglund involved, now is pushed. The Leaf player, MacArthur, was down, and I believe it's against Berglund.
Well, Berglund was so feisty in that game, especially getting that penalty kill time. Here he goes in on MacArthur. He's just a bigger body. I don't even understand why this is a penalty.
Totally agree with you.
St. Louis,
listen,
number 21,
he stops going into it, stops and just gently slides into him. The bodies are turned, and even MacArthur's turned to the side. It just that, you know, his head goes down and he's looking for the puck, but I don't know, he doesn't exactly put himself in a great spot, and I don't think Berglund did anything to go out of his way. The ledge of the boards, that's what his face gets caught up in, and that's why he goes down. That was not a malicious hit whatsoever.
No, it looked like Berglund tried to let up.
Yeah, for sure he did.
I mean, if he follows through at full force, it's a penalty.
Or pushes with his arms with a player in a vulnerable spot. Not there, though.
So the first power play to Toronto. Blues killed all 4 the other night. Leafs power play 21st, just under 15%. They get it back for Lyles. To Phaneuf. Kessel on the left wing. Gets it. Here's Lyles again. A shot. Loose in front. And where is it? It's under Halak's left leg. And he gets it with the mitt. And now Phaneuf and Backes have words.
And we talk about the addition of Stewart and Berglund on the penalty kill for the last game, each playing around 2.5 minutes. Well, the goaltender has been a bright spot, as was Brian Elliott when he was getting the nod in goal. But now you can see that the goaltender, Yaroslav Halak, has really got his confidence. On top of the crease, seeing the puck coming in and no rebound there as well. And then you see what you would expect, and that is David Backes throwing his weight around. David Backes played a real hard game against Chicago, going head-to-head with Jonathan Toews, the captain of the Blackhawks. It was physical. It was a playoff-style atmosphere. And David Backes left nothing in the room. He put it all out on the ice.
The Leafs 0 for their last 10 on the power play. The Blues have killed the last 8 power plays against.
Yeah, it's climbing in there on the positives. It's not 30th in the league. It's climbed to 25th in the National Hockey League, and that's why you got to break it down into 3 or 5 game segments. It is getting much better.
And Sobotka wins it from Lupul, and the puck in the corner. Shattenkirk swats at it to the line. It's kept in by Phaneuf. And now for Kessel. Kessel in the slot. Back for Phaneuf. Quickly across. A shot. They score!
That's a heck of a shot.
Lyles.
That's a heck of a shot. John Michael Lyles got it, kind of handcuffed him at first, and then with plenty of traffic there, it looked to me like Oshie couldn't get over there. You know that in this formation, much like what the Blues use, a 1-3-1, Oshie's over there on the far side, but not quick enough. So between he and Shattenkirk, there's no release getting out. Everybody's in tweener land, and what happens at the end of the day is you get a screen. Halak moves over, and inside the post, a good shot and a double screen on the goaltender.
That was a perfect shot. It's right at my angle. There's really no chance that Halak had on it off the post. I mean, he was in pretty good position. It was just a good play by the Leafs. You got to give him credit for a good power play.
And Lyles has always had great numbers against the Blues. Now 18 points in 26 games. Here are the Blues down by 1. Ian Cole walks it in. Cole, a shot off the target. Comes back to the left wing boards. Steen put it wide. And now Cole again in from the right side. Langenbrunner there as well. Gunnarsson gets it back for Toronto. So the Leafs snap an 0 for 10 drought on the power play. The goal by Lyles from Phaneuf and Kessel.
That's his second goal of the season for the offensive-minded John Michael Lyles.
Now Jake Gardner to center ice. Tipped along by Lombardi. Poliakovo trying to work it ahead, and then grabbed by Matt D'Agostini. Up the ice with Stewart. Stewart works it on Shin. And the referee got in the way there, and Stewart couldn't make a play. And it's scooped along for Lombardi. In front, Poliakovo got back and made a good play. And here are the Blues the other way. It's Patrick Berglund. Berglund gets it in there. Down low for D'Agostini. With some pressure there. And now he gives it up, as he was the only man on the far side. The Leafs had 3 players and they forced the turnover.
That's great coverage by the Toronto Maple Leafs on that potential play, and you're right, there was nowhere for him to go. He can't go to the point because the winger for the Maple Leafs was right there, and then Steckel just comes in behind knowing that the only chance he's got is to dump it back on a little reverse cycle.
Look out here, Jackman. He was checked, and a shot goes high as Kuhlman put it over the glass.
We'll go back to the goal that was scored here, and as we take a look at the ice surface here, everything's focused on this side, but here's what's going to happen once the release isn't there. Oshie's there with the stick, but by this time now you got Shattenkirk's trying to play goal. Oshie's not there with the stick, and the goaltender's a little passive right there, not trusting that formation. He's far inside the blue paint.
That's one of those ones where you really need the defenseman to block that possibly, because Jarl can't see it. If you're going to be in front of him, you got to block it.
Exactly right. Being in no man's land's no good for anybody, but I do believe it all started with, you know, that center line that I drew and Oshie being on that side. You know that the play is going to go over to the weak side. He's a left-hand shot on the right face-off dot, and that was the setup they were looking for. They're buying time on the left, and sure enough, they played over to the right and they end up scoring.
They used that high guy again on the top of their power play. This forward that stuck into the middle there, and he was able to make the play originally too.
Now off the draw, the Leafs control it. MacArthur back of the goal, pushed by Jackman to the point, picked off by Steen, and he gets it out. Of course, Steen and Koliakovo coming from Toronto in the trade for Lee Stepniak. Stepniak now in Calgary. Jackman off the near side for Langenbrunner. And ahead for Sobotka. And then Arnott follows up, and he'll dump it in. Shots 10-6 Toronto. And they lead it 1-0.
And you hate to harp on it, but that was not a very good call on the far side that leads to that power play goal.
I concur. Pollock works over Lupul. And the puck gloved down by Ian Cole. Quickly on for Oshie. Off the boards to David Backes. And then Backes wrapped up by Gardner. Back on the line, Pollock. Off the boards, comes in front. And we get an interference penalty. The goaltender lost his stick. Is this one against the Blues? It could be. After Lyles scores in the power play.
Blues trail the Leafs here. 5:31 left in the first period at 1-0. Coming up immediately following this first period, it is SAPA GM Country intermission report from the Bud Light Zone. Bernie's going to talk to Carlo Koliakovo, along with Alex Steen, of course, former Toronto Maple Leafs on this Blues squad. We'll have What's on Tap, and the Telepanger makes a return. That's all coming up right after this period. John, Darren, Bernie, back to you.
And the Blues are short-handed. Sobotka gone for interference at 14:29. Leafs 1 for 1 on the power play. And leading by 1, Phaneuf. On for Phil Kessel. Back to Phaneuf again. The captain fakes it. Now Lyles across the seam. And now settled by Kessel again. Here's Kessel across. Lyles came in. And this time was stopped by Halak. And that was a heck of a pass and a good save by Halak.
Boy, that pass is getting through the seam with great efficiency from the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Blues have got to tighten that up. Kessel makes like a playmaker, goes to the far side, and again it's John Michael Lyles sliding in there. Yaroslav Halak's got to go from his right post over to his left, slides down, pushes off, gets the pads down low, and no rebound.
But that's a good pass, but Darren, at some point you've got to take that pass away.
No, there's no question. Pretty much before it gets to the John Michael Lyles stick, because that could have easily been a quick snapshot high under the bar and a 2-0 lead for Toronto.
That's where they would have to go, but still you got to give Kessel a lot of credit. It was a really good pass.
Yeah,
hard to defend against a good pass like that.
Yeah, for a shooter, he's a good passer.
Yeah, it really is. Sees the ice so well.
Yep. Now Shattenkirk ahead. Lyles kept it in. Look out. Off Pollock's stick. Bozak back of the goal. Kessel. And that's chopped along. Comes to Steen. Steen with some time gets it out of the zone. And under a minute to go in the Toronto power play. Shots 11-6 for the Maple Leafs. Here's Phaneuf slowly onto center ice for Lupul. And then play deep. Jackman knocked down by Grabowski. And then the puck comes to the line again for Phaneuf. His drive tipped on goal and a save by Halak. And then Nickel to an open corner where it's picked up by the veteran Jackman. And down the ice she goes.
I got a lot of respect for that Mikhail Grabovski. He plays hard. He's been many times during his career. He's not the biggest guy, but man, he's a courageous player. Plays hurt, gets involved, doesn't back down, and now he's wearing the A for Ron Wilson.
That's 5 goals on the year, 2 in the power play. As Berglund reverses. And Ian Cole steps up. Sobotka out of the box. The Blues have killed it off. And the pass in for Stewart. The Leafs had 3 shots on that last power play. Now Kuhlman ahead for MacArthur. And here comes his speed into the zone. Gardner, the late man. He wanders in. Back in front, and no one was open. And now MacArthur, another call on the Blues. They have played this first period shorthanded. And now a tripping minor.
Well, Ken Hitchcock talks about how
St. Louis number 36
he can see the game in slow motion. He removes himself emotionally. This will test him. 3 times so far, as you see D'Agostini coming back and tripping up Lupul. The referee that was behind the goal line, his job is to look at the puck. The guy in the neutral zone ends up making that call.
That's another questionable call right there, too, because that pretty good position by D'Agostini. He was just being strong on his stick. Don't like calls like that.
Now the Leafs, 3rd power play, tipped in front, Lupul. Rebound, they score! Kessel into the top corner. And it's 2-0.
Well, just as we're talking about the penalty kill for the Blues and its effectiveness, Toronto's now gone 2 for 2 with the man advantage. Good support there by Bozak. Face-off win by Toronto. Barely kept in there at the point by John Michael Lyles over to Dion Phaneuf. And the first shot, Lupul. I mean, no one's paying the price in front of that net. Nobody's getting touched right there. Everybody's looking at pucks. Goes off the shaft of the stick or the paddle down of Yaroslav Halak at our Plaza Tire Service Fox Exmo. You see that bobbling puck chipped up there by Kessel.
So the Leafs 2 for 3 on the power play. And a 2-0 lead.
I told you my math was bad. I had them 2 for 2. And we're this early in the game.
Kessel's 12th of the year. Leads the league in goals and points. Now it is Langenbrunner knocking it down. And that goes just wide as Arnott tried the backhand tip. And the Leafs will play it back down. Here's Jackman. Bumps in the corner with Fratton. And then Lombardi is eliminated back of the goal. Shattenkirk plays it off the near side and all the way down the ice. And the Blues have not really tested the rookie goaltender Scrivens.
Not nearly enough. You know, for a goaltender, young kid, brilliant in Cornell, inexperienced at the NHL level, coming off a loss, and they have not tested Scrivens, nor have they tested the Toronto Maple Leafs nearly enough in this game. That's why they're down 2-0.
Well, Car Soup presents Email the Booth. Go to carsoup.com/blues and email us your question. We'll pick the best and answer it later tonight. The Blues lost their home opener against Nashville back on October 8th, but since then they've won the last 4 here at Scottrade.
Kind of lost their flow here because of all the penalties. I mean, three power plays for the Leafs, and it takes some of the guys out of the game, which is they got to find a way to get it back soon.
Yeah, but they weren't sharp to begin this game, and that's something that Ken Hitchcock was, I think, a little concerned about. The pace of the practices, the tempo, the demands, the game against Chicago, and they have not had their legs early on in this hockey game.
And the Leafs will pitchfork the puck to center ice. It's Koliakovo. And now for Pietrangelo. And that goes back to the goal. Icing coming up here against the Blues. So the Blues really out of sorts. And Stewart and Brown having words.
Well, that would get everybody riled up. That Brown can skate. He's a good 4th line player for Toronto. He's not afraid to drop the mitts as well. But you don't want one of your top right wingers getting involved and dropping the mitts with a 4th line winger. No disrespect to Mike Brown.
And I believe a timeout has been called by Ken Hitchcock.
Well, this should be interesting. You know that the Blues are going to get the message here, and it's always tough to burn a timeout, 1:16 left in the first period. Face off in their own zone. Doesn't take much to get the attention of players. Ron Wilson, he has an opportunity then on that timeout to get his group together and then try to establish a set play off the offensive zone face-off. In his 18th season as a National Hockey League head coach, the former defenseman for the Minnesota North Stars.
6th all-time in games coached, 34 behind former Blues coach Mike Heenan. Now it is Stewart.
It's going to be icing again.
Unless Steen can get there, and he will. So they wave it off. Now Steen against Phaneuf. And he is tied up. Final minute, first period. And a penalty called this time against the Maple Leafs. I think Phaneuf.
Yeah, he clipped Alex Steen up high. So the former Maple Leaf Steen played so well against the Toronto Maple Leafs, even if it's not a common occurrence. 57 seconds left in the first period. The Blues down by 2. The high stick's going to come up the very end. Right there. The follow through. Not much to it, but the stick's up high.
And that's who they have to go after is Phaneuf there. I mean, he should have been back and touched that puck for the icing, guys. I mean, he just gave up on it. Great work by Steen, but that puck should have been an icing call if Phaneuf just goes and gets it. But he sometimes gets lazy, and we saw it right there.
So the Blues, who were 1 for 2 the other night, in front, wide open, Langenbrunner! And a save it on it, the rebound, and it's covered by Scrivens.
Great opportunity. The Leafs let Langenbrunner all alone in front of the net. And because he had to play with his skate to his stick, didn't have time to settle it down and maybe raise it. Keep your eye on the right side of your screen, right above the goaltender. Langenbrunner's there. Oh, one shot. Scrivens in good shape there. Good position for the young goaltender right here. Down low is blocked off. Langenbrunner's trying to go high. The one thing about Langenbrunner, he doesn't have much of a curve on that stick. So he's got to elevate that almost heel to toe like Bernie, and he just couldn't get that up high enough.
Or else just take a step to his backhand, and then he probably would have been able to slide it in the far side.
That faceoff's going to be to the right of Scrivens because the puck went and hit a glove of the Toronto Maple Leaf bench.
And that's a break for the Blues.
That's a good break. 35 seconds left. That's Scott Mellanby barking out some orders from the Blues bench. He wants Pietrangelo out by the point. Maybe they can push it back and get something towards the net.
Arden wins the faceoff. Comes back for Pietrangelo. And a shot is right on goal. And it's between the right arm and the body of Scrivens. The Leafs penalty killing last in the league. That's 71.9%.
Now Scott Mellanby doing a nice job there, reacting quickly and barking out orders. You see the face-off win, but on the left of your screen, that is Pietrangelo, and that's exactly what Mellanby was ordering him to do because he was up at the hash marks. And again, he's telling D'Agostini, get out there. Don't flood the area. You want the puck to push out so you can let her rip. He's got D'Agostini right out here.
Blues win it back, 30 to go in the period. Shattenkirk for D'Agostini, and that was blocked. Now D'Agostini for Shattenkirk. Trying to go through the legs of Lombardi. Couldn't do it, and then Lombardi fires it down the ice. In the final 15 seconds of the first period. Quickly on to center ice now for Berglund. Backus got back onside. Now Backus trying to hit D'Agostini, and this power play will continue into the second period. But not a good first period for the Blues, to say the least.
No, just they were making some strides on the penalty kill and got themselves in trouble. Even though there was a few marginal calls there, you still got to play the game, and they gave up 2 power play goals.
It was Lyles from Phaneuf, and then Kessel scored a power play goal from Lupul at 17:03. 2-0 Toronto after 1. military night at Scott Trade. The Blues had no defense for the Leafs power play, and Phil Kessel in the opening frame. Kessel had 3 shots and the power play goal, and it's 2-0 Toronto after 1.
There's no question for the Toronto Maple Leafs, they came out here and played a very, very sound period. Phil Kessel really led the charge that way. He's dangerous because he gets away from you. You got to keep your eye on him. If not early on, it would have been a 2-0 deficit in the first 5 minutes. So Kessel does end up scoring a goal, but he has 3 quality scoring chances. We take a look at the National Hockey League season leaders for goals. That's for the Maurice the Rocket Richard Trophy at the end of the year, and he is your leader right now.
Blues hockey is brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. Blues on the power play, underway in the second. Hammered around the boards by Jake Gardner. Kept in. And then steered back to the left point for Backus. And under some pressure. Now it goes to Shattenkirk. That was blocked. Caroms back to Backus for Shattenkirk. On the far side for Steen. Through a seam, look out. And Leafs Steckel almost cleared that, almost was away to the races.
That formation ended up changing a little bit. Usually D'Agostini is on that left side of the umbrella instead of Dave Backus. Backus usually in front of the net, but they did a little bit of a swap right there. Didn't matter anyway. Nothing going so far early on in this power play.
Now it is Carlo Koliakovo. Far side for Sabotka, back of the goal for Jamie Langenbrunner. And the pass back for Koliakovo to Pietrangelo. And his drive hit traffic in front. Phaneuf's out of the box. And the Maple Leafs to center ice, 3-on-2. And the pass into Lombardi and just off his stick. So the Blues 0 for 1. 2 shots in the power play. Here's Langenbrunner. And then steered in by Pietrangelo. The first man in is Arnott. And then Sabotka back on the blue line. And Stewart a shot. And that was a fluttering drive that is caught by Scrivens for the whistle.
Easy one there with the power play ending, and then a line there of Sabotka and Jason Arnott jumping out there. Now at 5-on-5 because that power play, the line's just jumbled up a little bit right here unless it's on purpose. Oshie, Berglund, and Stewart now.
And the draw controlled by Toronto. And now Lyle's back in his own zone. Leafs won 59% of the draws in the first period. Now it's shot the Blues 14-8. Now Pollock back in his own zone.
Yeah, 10 players on the Blues didn't even have a shot on goal. 10 players.
Now Kessel tips one to the Blues line. Cole for Pollock. And then for Berglund. Good short pass to Cole. He'll march in there. Now to the net, but no one was there. Comes around for Berglund. Well, Berglund, he was hit by Komisarek. And then Kessel, quick outlet pass for Lupul. But Oshie defending made a good play on Lupul, who was acquired in a deal for Francois Beauchemin from the Anaheim Ducks. And Lupul's had a resurgence this year after battling a back injury that was complicated by some staph infection. It's almost a full year, did Lupul.
Yeah, went through a terrible time confidence-wise, and people question whether or not he could be a consistent top 6 in the NHL, and then you understand how much he went through.
Here's Reeves, a drive right on. Oh, and it's loose. Nickel trying to jam it under the goaltender Scrivens, and he kept it out. And the Leafs floated back to center ice, and then it came back in offside.
Or did he call that a high stick?
I thought he had let the puck drop.
No, what did he call down there, Bernie? This is the first shot there. Good save.
Oh, sorry, Panger. He said that it was hit with a high stick. Shattenkirk, and it was not a high stick. I mean, Shattenkirk was not happy with it, but it really wouldn't have mattered because the puck was already outside the zone.
Oh. Scotty Nickel had a good chance there right on the doorstep.
Now Pietrangelo steps up 2-on-2. He moves in, a shot, and a pad save by Scrivens. And then Fratton gets it out. Steckel was checked. Here's Pietrangelo, and he'll bank it right back into Leaf territory. And then Schenn reverses for Gardner. Puck comes near the line, held in by Steen. And now it is fired away, but right back in is Arnott. He is shouldered by Philippe Dupuis. And And now Gardner with some time. Tries to hit the rookie Fratton. Second round pick in 07, and that's an icing call against Toronto.
The Blues are going to be real careful. They're pinching an awful lot here, guys, with the defense. And Toronto almost had a couple of chances where they're going to end up with some odd man rushes. So the pitchers have got to be real careful. Even though you're trailing by 2, you certainly don't want to go down by 3.
And Hitchcock makes a change there with Sobotka. Getting Sobotka out with David Backes here.
Toronto controls the faceoff. Fratton on the boards. And then steered out by Schenn. And this will be an icing call.
You know, John, the Toronto Maple Leafs changed up their management team as well, adding Dave Poulin to go along with Claude Wazelle. And you look at what they've done to restock the cupboard. I mean, they drafted Luke Schenn in 08, and then they turned around and made trades, and they end up getting from the 08 draft Joe Colburn and Jake Gardner. Gardner for the Beauchemin deal, Colburn for the deal with Caberlet.
Puck in front. Oshie trying to get it free, but there's Schenn. It was kicked right behind Pietrangelo.
I was talking to Dave Poulin today. He's one of many management groups that are over in Finland watching a tournament there, along with John Davidson of the Blues and Tim Taylor as well. But he was saying, if you were to leave that 2008 draft and say we walked away with Luke Schenn, Colburn, and Jake Gardner, Colburn now is leading the American Hockey League in points. He said, you'd think that you've just won the lottery. And they did it, but it was a couple of years later. Anyway, the Toronto Maple Leafs are setting themselves up for a pretty decent future as this play out here on the ice continues to be choppy.
And the Leafs have the second youngest club, averaging just over 26 years of age. The Blues are the 8th youngest team.
And when you consider that they've not made the playoffs since, well, not since the lockout, I mean, they should have stockpiling. They should have some draft picks that they should be able to build with. They should be young, and they should be a lot better every year if they're drafting right.
Now Jackman up the boards. Here's Chris Stewart. Stewart gets free. Jackman will tip it in there, but then fired away at the Blues bench. And we get a break in the action. Let's check in downstairs between the benches for this Bommarito Automotive Update.
Well, it seems the Blues are trying to get something going. They're trying to get, obviously, their legs moving. Ken Hitchcock very calm behind the bench, but the fact of the matter is they've got to get some push going, guys. They've got to get some pressure in the Toronto zone. They've got to get some sustained pressure. So, again, goes back to that number game we talked about in the first period. They've got to start outnumbering the Toronto Maple Leafs, especially the defense.
Now Pietrangelo from the point, a shot. Hit an ankle in front. And Lupo to center ice. The Leafs lead the league in blocked shots, 256. And fired in wide of Halak. Here's Bozak. He just dances by a check back of the goal. Bozak to the line. And then floated back of the goal for Phaneuf. Or rather, Kessel from Phaneuf. Kessel to Phaneuf, a shot blocked, and it goes high as Pietrangelo got a stick over.
Well, Phaneuf on that left point, he's just waiting for Phil Kessel to come in on that cycle down low. And little strong side play by the Toronto Maple Leafs. There's Kessel. Keep your eye on the top right. He's waiting and waiting. The Blues are actually in really good shape there. And that pass just sneaks through the skates of Chris Stewart. And it was kind of an iffy pass there by Kessel, but it did get through.
Blues win the faceoff. And Derek Jackman for Steen. And the puck rolls to center ice. Grabowski is hit hard. Trickles back in the goal area by the Leafs Gunnarsson. And now off the boards to center ice. Coolham in a pass on right wing. Whacked away by Jackman. And then Langenbrunner check. Pass in front off a skate and a great play by Steen to hook the puck back to center. Nikolai Kulemin again. Now MacArthur, and that play is offside. Well, Fox Sports Midwest.com will bring you 4 Missouri high school football games this weekend. On Friday night, it's Fort Zumwalt West against Francis Howell, Rockhurst Blue Springs. Then on Saturday, we bring you St. Francis Borgia at MICDS and Webb City against Hillcrest. You can watch all 4 games at foxsportsmidwest.com. Bouncing puck, and Halak got there just in time ahead of Mike Brown. Now Brown in front, grab a shot, and he put that one wide. And then Lyles a blast, that's blocked, and another one from the right point by Commissar was tipped away. Toronto with a 2-0 lead here in the second.
The Blues trail the Maple Leafs 2-0 here in the second period with Ken Hitchcock. Ken, is it something you guys are not doing right, or is it something the Leafs are doing better?
I think a combination. They're hard on the puck. They've lost a couple of games. They were embarrassed by the way they play, and they're playing with purpose. We had a good start to the game. We fell off it. I think a reflection of the first period was our penalty killing. We weren't working. We were losing battles, and they scored a couple of goals. We're coming back now, though, Bernie. We're on the hunt right now. We just got to keep going and get that first one. We got them a little bit back on their heels in their own zone. We just got to take advantage of it.
Thanks, Ken. Good luck.
And the face-off in the blue zone.
I love
Kicked by Sabotka back to the corner.
Love the way he said that, huh? We're coming back now, Bernie. Huh?
Absolutely. You know what? It's 2 goals right now. It's all it is. One shot, and it's halfway there.
Now back of the goal. Oshie twisting and turning. Blues have outshot the Leafs 5-0 in this second. Sabotka throws it low. And then Sabotka, big hit on Shen. Puck stays in the zone. Sabotka again. Now Oshie, good head fake on Gardner. In front, O'Backus missed it. Polak gets it. The drive, and that was blocked, and it goes to the corner. Oshie hit on Shen. Now Gardner, his pass. Lupul, look out. So D'Agostini's all over him. And the puck fired around Kessel. Ahead, Bozak moves in, and a save by Halak. His first test of the second period. And on the counter, it's Matt D'Agostini with his speed. Rolls it by the defense. And now D'Agostini for Stewart. Can't get it. Koliakovo will pinch in and keep it in. Stewart in the corner. He battles against Phaneuf. They're surrounded by Blues there. And that's what Ken Hitchcock wants. Outnumber him. Wide open in front. Berglund. And then Koliakovo missed a wide open goal after Berglund fanned on it. And he was wide open.
He had the happy hands going there. Otherwise, he's right in the wheelhouse.
And now we get a call, a slashing minor, I believe, against the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Wow, the good puck pursuit by the Blues. Getting their work boots on. I thought it started the shift before that with Vladimir Sabotka on the left side. There's the scoring chance. Tenacious hunting there by D'Agostini. Stewart plays it out to Berglund. Berglund over stick handles and doesn't get a shot on goal, but the Blues stay with it. Ends up being a slashing minor on the stick to stick on Dion Phaneuf right there. But a couple of prime scoring opportunities go by the wayside, not even a shot on goal.
That's a tough one for Berglund, though, Painter, because he's standing still there, and you got to try to make a move, and there's not a lot of places you go. He's got that long reach, but unfortunately, I think that puck bounced on a little bit as he lost the puck. But that's a tough when you're standing still.
You know, we watch him in practice so often. He just usually gets that on his stick, extends it, and then goes low to the stick side so well.
Yep.
Blues on the power play. They're 0 for 1 tonight. Wide open, Arnott shoots. He scores! Arnott! And it's 2-1.
Arnott pulled out beautifully right there. Read the situation with Pietrangelo sliding in on the right side. And the fans here at Scottrade are on their feet. The Blues are back in this hockey game. 4th goal of the year for the veteran. Keep your eye on the right side of your screen. That's Pietrangelo there. Stop it here for a second. And here's the pull-out move right here by Arnott. Good goal scorers, Bernie. Slide out into the quiet areas and keep your eye on 44 as we isolate on him. Stick on the ice, one quick pass, right on the tape. And as Arnott's falling down, he snipes it.
Yeah, that's a goal scorer's goal right there. That's why he's got over 400.
His first goal in 8 games, 4th of the year. And it's 2-1. And the Blues, another power play goal. Now they work it low for David Backes. Tosses one for Sabotka. Wide open Shattenkirk to Jacker. In for Sabotka. He works against Lyles. Now Sabotka gets free. Strong on the puck, comes in front. Leafs can't get it. Pinballs around in the slot, and finally taken by Lyles. Out of the zone. There's Grachev, he can't find it. Now Kuhlman wanders in for Toronto. On his off wing, in the slot. Oh, Nickel came back on Phaneuf with a great back check. And now the Leafs have it at the line. Now Grabowski in front. Broken up there. And Shattenkirk elevates one to the Leaf line. Grachev trying to hunt it down against Gunnarsson. Now Phaneuf long feed. That's picked off by Koliakovo, and back in it goes. Well, Ken Hitchcock was right when he told Bernie we're coming on here. And now it's 2-1.
This ice is tilted the right way now.
On it from Pietrangelo and Koliakovo. Power play goal at 8:01. Ryan Reeves grabs it. Here's Reeves with Grachev. And they get it deep. There's Schenn back there, along with Gardner. And then it comes back to Schenn. Under some pressure. That goes off the boards. No icing here. As we approach the midway point of the second. Leafs lead it 2-1. Long stretch pass for Stewart. He goes wide on Gardner. Stewart, the Toronto native, gets it free for D'Agostini. And now Stewart picks up a loose puck. To the line for Ian Cole. Tipped in front. And not a lot of muster on that as Berglund tipped it. And the puck at the line. Cole cannot hold it in. And now Stewart at the line. He was checked, but Toronto comes in offside. Lyles and Kessel scored in the first for the Leafs in the power play, but Arnott responds, a power play goal for the Blues. And again, we honor all who have served and are serving in the military as we approach this Veterans Day. And this week we lost an extended member of our Fox Sports Midwest family, Richard Krolik, who served in World War II. And that was before the game and pregame ceremonies. Leafs control the faceoff. Shuffle to the corner, Koliakovo. Langenbrunner can't get there. There's a shot from the left point by Lyles. That's back of the Blues goal.
Blues did a good job of getting stick on puck. Not a lot of pucks are getting through on Yaroslav Halak here in this second period.
Now Lyles watched by Arnott.
See Arnott there?
Scored the Blues goal.
Sorry, John. See Arnott there? He didn't go for a big loop. He just put the brakes on, stopped, and then got right back into the middle of the ice.
Stop and start. Straight lines. Here's Steen. And wide open is Pietrangelo. Puts one in on goal. Scrivens will cover, and we'll get a face-off.
Special teams of the St. Louis Blues. First 13, 3 power play goals. You know, the last couple, I mean, obviously going 1 for 2 against the Chicago Blackhawks, it's a big goal. It's a 3-0 win. Here, Arnott scores to make it 2-1. Ken Hitchcock looks like the master prognosticator.
He said it would take a day, and he was right.
Even if you're wrong, you like the fact that he stood up and said, it's going to change right now. What else are you going to say?
Yeah, you love the confidence. Now D'Agostini back on the blue line. Shattenkirk, a shot, got through, and a rebound was in front.
Big rebound.
D'Agostini couldn't get it.
These goalies here for Toronto, they don't catch many pucks. And they are without James Reimer, as we all know, with that concussion-like symptoms right now. But put the pucks up around the body. There's going to be some juicy rebounds coming back.
Yeah, Reimer has a concussion, and the reporters in Toronto are so thirsty for information. One reporter actually called Reimer's mother, and she answered the phone and gave the reporter basically the scoop on her son, and they were not happy about that in Toronto.
We talked to Ron Wilson this morning about it, and I don't blame him one bit. I think that's out of line. I think if something is determined by the team, and for example, when we do all the interviews with Chris Stewart and we want to talk to Norman, and you know, the public relations staff led by Mike Caruso says, hey, here's his number, give him a call, I'll give them a heads up. When you're out there, I mean, surfing for dirty information, what's a parent going to do? What's she going to do? She's a polite lady, a nice family. They don't know. They just think, and then next thing you know, she's saying, I don't think they should, you know, say that it's whiplash. It's a concussion he's got. I mean, just that stuff. And they did it with Connolly's parents as well about his shoulder.
It's Toronto, guys. Come on now.
Yeah, our director, Phil Mollica, called it hockey paparazzi. That's a good way to put it.
Jeremy Rutherford would never do that here at the St. Louis Dispatch.
Absolutely. He is an honorable man. Now Phaneuf at his own line. Up the middle, look out. Oh, Pietrangelo at the last second knocked it away from Grabowski. Shots this period 8-2 for the Blues.
Oh, David Backes has got to get that in deep right there. He's got it right in the wheelhouse where he wants it, and that soft little flip gets turned over, and now the Leafs put some pressure on Pietrangelo.
Now it's Steen on the far side. Floats one to center. Backes drops it. Koloyakovo a shot, and his drive turned away by Scrivens. And then it comes around for Arnott. Arnott in there against Tyler Bozak, and the puck bounces to center. And now Ian Cole turns to get it. For Steen.
And Cole and Polak continue to go up against the top line defensively.
Right by Kessel. There by Cole. Here's Steen, the former Leaf. Checked. Now gets it on goal, and a save by Scrivens and no rebound. And Arnott was right there.
Yeah, Scrivens played that like a first baseman or a catcher. He moved his whole body over there instead of, as I said, he's not a catcher of the puck. So he shifts over, he slides over to his left and takes it right in the bread basket right there. Boy, that seemed like a long time ago, didn't it? Because it was 2008, Steen and Koliakovo, and they've been brilliant. It turns out to be just a phenomenal trade for this organization here in St. Louis.
Now Cole, he lost his stick as he moved in. Back to the goal, D'Agostini stole it to the front, and it's covered by Scrivens and no further play.
That's a good read by D'Agostini. I think his game is turning up. He's going to that other gear that he showed last year in a career season with 21. There he reads it easily on Schenn, and it's not a very aggressive jam play right there, but he does try to sneak it underneath the stick of the goaltender Scrivens from Spruce Grove, Alberta, the home of the great Grant Fuhr.
The Hall of Famer, the former Blue. Now the pass to center, and the speedy Kessel. He's got one tonight. And a good back check there by D'Agostini. Ties up Lupul. And then Berglund can't move it. But there is Polak to his partner Cole. And then to center ice, Chris Stewart. Trying to run right over Schenn. There's Gardner back behind his own goal. Gets it by Grachev and back into the blue zone with 6 to play in the second period. Koliakovo ahead for Grachev. Wrapped up by Phaneuf.
Tough play
and
there.
The puck fired away.
For Grachev. John, he's standing still right there on that play. He's stopped. There's no way for him to do anything with that puck. There's no momentum going in.
Now a long pass again. This one by Pietrangelo. Reeves. Here's Nico wandering over. Sends it back to the goal. Scrivens missed it. And then Grachev comes in and bumps with his own man, Reeves. And then Gunnarsson throws it high to center ice, where Jackman steps up. Good pass for Nickel. And down the ice it goes. Scrivens plays it. Comes around, Oshie steps up. Chips it by Gunnarsson.
Minor Petley coming up.
He was held up. Oshie to the line for Jackman. Jackman a drive, and it was tipped just wide. Delayed call here. And now the Leafs will touch it. A good forward check by Oshie, and then he was hooked and held. And the Blues go on the power play.
Blues about to go on the power play. Carl Gunnarsson in the box. 2 minutes for hooking. 5:03 left in the second period in a 2-1 hockey game. Coming up during the Jack of the Box intermission report, Bernie's going to catch up with Phil Kessel, the high-scoring Toronto Maple Leaf. We'll have our dirt cheap shot of the game. We'll also talk with one of the Blues assistants. All coming up on the Jack in the Box intermission report. John, Darren, Bernie, we'll see you then.
All right, Pat, the Blues on the power play. Third time tonight. They're 1 of 2 and could tie the game.
Key's going to be that high slot presence that we've seen. Arnott has scored there, and against Chicago, Stewart had that nifty little tip-in from the TJ Oshie. Half shot, half pass.
And a good face-off win by David Steckel.
He's good,
He was over 60% on the year, second best in the NHL. What a weapon he is. Stewart a pass. Inadvertent pass, and it's fired away by Dupuis, the former Avalanche winger.
Yeah, it's a shame. The Blues did a nice job of getting control inside that blue line and coughed it up.
Here comes Koliakovo to his partner Pietrangelo, right up the gut. His shot, and that's steered away and out by Scrivens, and we'll get a face-off deep in the Leafs' end.
Koliakovo distributes. Pietrangelo makes the play. And from that angle, it's really a tough play anyway. I was always a believer that when you did enter the zone, don't rush a shot off. Like on the rush, you've got in. That's the whole point of getting in there, now establishing the system you want. Stop, pull up, and then buy some time, and then settle things down.
Now a draw won by the Leafs. The Blues flood the far side. Now they get it. And then Berglund hack to the line. Shattenkirk with some time and a drive, and he put that one high. And Steen comes over in a big hurry. Steen to the net. That was blocked. Smacked off the boards. Bouncing puck kept in by Shattenkirk. All the way around to Backes. Backes and Schenn do battle back of the goal. Now Berglund trying to find it against Phaneuf. Berglund gets it high to Steen. The drive, and it was tipped just wide. And the Blues recover it. Backes, hard pass. Steen is wide open. Steen the drive. And it's loose in front. And then Berglund in front of the goal. Can't get it in. Schenn can't clear it. Now Steen. Good short pass to D'Agostini. He fires it, blocked. Out high, 35 to go in the power play. Leafs running around here. They've got to be a bit fatigued now. To the line against Steen. Shattenkirk. And then Steen fires it off a leg of Backes. Now Backes to the line again for Shattenkirk. Good puck movement by the Blues. Back for Shattenkirk again. Tipped in front by Berglund and high. D'Agostini there again. To the outside. D'Agostini turns. Moves in a drive off the arm, I believe, of Scrivens. Great power play here. Back of the goal to Backes. In front. And then Gunnarsson is out of the box. And he breaks the center ice. But the Blues had all kinds of pressure. 3 shots on goal.
Funny that was Gunnarsson, because that pass by Backes was a gunner. Holy smokes. He just ripped it. He's got a guy in front. I don't believe he was trying to find the guy in front more than he was trying to maybe find the point man. Maybe that's why he put so much on that.
That's Sabotka in on it. On the forecheck. Langed runner. Back on the line. Pietrangelo a shot. Tipped well high. Blues recover it. Back of the goal. Sabotka. He's not pressured. And then Pietrangelo had moved in, but it bounced on him. But play back of the goal again. Langed runner. In front. Oh, Sabotka just missed it open side. And now Arnott gets it again. Bangs it back to the line. Pietrangelo for Koliakovo. Wrist shot tipped high. Arnott fires it right in front. And now taken by Clark MacArthur onto center ice. And then Kuhlman will dump it deep. Shots in the second. 14-2 for the Blues. As they have cut the Leafs lead to 2-1. Now Pietrangelo. One pass, now another one for Langed runner. And then Arnott gets it out to Koliakovo. And the Blues want to make a change here.
Oh, Koliakovo just laid that in there nicely. Otherwise, that's a nice, and that tired group wouldn't be able to get off the ice.
Now the Leafs give it up at center ice. TJ Oshie. Fans on it, now moves it in. Into the corner, it's Gardner there for Toronto. Leafs try to move it up this side. That's cut off by Jackman. Steen was bumped from behind. And then Backes gave Gardner a shot to the line, but there's Kessel in the right spot to break it up. And then Oshie, nice little toe drag to get it away from the Leafs. But now the Blues cough it back up to Toronto. And Lupo moves in. And his shot off the glove, I believe, or the shoulder of
What a nifty move by Lupo. Backhand to the forehand quickly.
In the final minute now, Oshie. He plays one to the corner. Backes can't get there. And Lupo, look out. He was twisted down, but no call. And then Lyles in front. Oh, Halak lost that in his pads. Now a shot off a skate and just wide. And then David Backes will get it out and relieve that pressure.
It's too bad this period's ending. It's finally got some flow, some end-to-end action.
And they're calling that icing? Wow. As Phaneuf goes back.
I think they're... Yeah, they are. That's incredible how softly that laid along the goal line and little effort getting back. Well, Steckel taking the draw, and as we mentioned, he's real good on it. been one of the most consistent center icemen on the draws of the last 3 years.
The former Capital who had that big hit on Crosby in last year's Winter Classic. And he wins it from Steen, and the shot was shot high over the net.
What a face-off win. So quickly a play like that, an icing play like that, 20 seconds left, results in a great scoring chance.
Oshie trying to work it up the boards. Backus, he wills that puck to center ice. 15 to go in the period. Lombardi back in. And a shot, a blocker save by Halak. And Fratton with it. Deep slot. Can't get a shot through, and that will do it. So the Blues very much back in this game.
Fratton and Jackman at the very end of it. Jackman gave Fratton, who was brilliant last year at North Dakota, scoring 36 goals. And now Dion Phaneuf jumps in. Oh, this sets up for a terrific third period now. 1-goal game heading into the third period. Finally, a little extended animosity here.
And then Berglund and Gunnarsson get their sticks up just a bit. A couple of Swedes.
Yeah, I don't think there's animosity there.
No.
Right side of your screen right there. There's a little hit right there. And then as Jackman's going away, it gives him a little bit of a shove. And Fratton, though, give him credit. He didn't back away. He came right back and gave Jackman a little shove cross-check from the front.
Second period shots 14-5 in favor of the Blues. They get the only goal on it at 8:01 from Pietrangelo and Koliakovo. So after 40 minutes, here at Scott Trade Center, the Maple Leafs lead it 2-1.
Generation, but he's become more vocal. He's become animated and doing a lot of communicating. I love seeing that from Scott Mellanby because that's the kind of guy he was as a player, and we're seeing a little bit of that jump on the bench there. Every coach has got a different philosophy on that, and this just happens to be Ken Hitchcock's philosophy.
Yeah, some coaches, like, for instance, the Hall of Famer Scotty Bowman, former Blues coach, he wanted to do everything behind the bench. He didn't want his assistant changing the D. He wanted to do everything. But that was his way.
Well, remember the old days? I mean, you had one guy.
Exactly.
You know?
So he got used to that and had pretty good success with it.
That's why goalies have become analysts, especially the backup variety, because they were the only ones on the bench. So you had a coach, you had a goalie, you had a trainer. So you listened a lot.
By the way, we got matching minors at the end of that second period, Jackman and Phaneuf. So we're 4-on-4 here. As the Blues move in, Steen to the net, and that's knocked away by Scrivens. Now the Blues after it, and the puck played to an open side, and Bozak back there.
Quick on and off there for the two forwards, David Backus and Alex Steen. Boy, that wasn't even 30 seconds on and off.
This year, the Leafs, when leading after two, a record of 5-0. The Blues are 1-5 when trailing. Oshie, he gets in there with some speed. Up front with Sobotka. He's rubbed out by Gardner. Now Sobotka follows up. Good back pass to the line. Cole for Pollock. Moves in, and a shot right on goal, and a save by Scrivens.
Good save by Scrivens, too, coming out on the top of his crease. Talking to his goaltending coach this morning, Francois Allaire, he just said that Scrivens has really worked hard. And that's why he's back in net and not Jonas Gustafsson. The monster's out. The Scrivens is in. Roman Pollock from the right point. Oh, a bouncy, bobbly puck. And there's no seam whatsoever there. He takes that as a little one-hopper right there.
And there was some room there in between those pads, wasn't there?
For a split second.
Yes, there was some daylight.
With that minor penalty, Jackman, though, over 800 penalty minutes in his career. The 8th Blue to hit that figure. Leafs get it back. We're 4-on-4. Here's Shen, a drive, tipped just wide by Kuhlman. That was a tough chance. And now Patrick Berglund. Floats one to center. Shattenkirk in with Stewart. Here's Stewart down the slot, and then his pocket picked by the back check of Grabowski. But now Berglund tracks down Grabowski.
And that's backtracking by Grabowski right through the middle of the ice, and he just waited and knew that what Stewart was going to do. Took so much time that Grabowski was able to strip him of the puck. I like the start, though, of this period for the Blues.
10 to go in the matching minors. Here's Cole. Polak is open down his off wing. He takes a hip check from Commissara. Roman gets up to an open corner. And there's Vladdy Sobotka. Teams are now back at full strength. Loophole for the Maple Leafs for the speedy Lombardi. Up the far side. And a slap shot there by Mike Brown was tipped wide. And Arnott to center ice. He has scored the Blues goal. Floated back in by John Michael Lyles and grabbed by Polak. Look out, he is wiped out. A hard hit by Brown. And now Langenbrunner for Arnott. Throw to the corner, and they go after it. Right on the boards. And Arnott trying to dig it free. Comes free for Steen. Whiteman was covered now for Arnott. And then Steen gets it again. Back for Jackman. Wrist shot. Pad save by Scrivens. Kicked out the left leg. Jackman a big hit. Oh. As he stepped up on Fratton, who was involved at the end of that second period. Now Shattenkirk moves in. Here's Shattenkirk to the front. Wide open. And then a backhander. Here's Backus back of the goal. Sends it to the end boards for Steen. Now to Langenbrunner. What a pass by Shattenkirk seconds ago. Blues trying to get it in front. Now it does come in front, but everybody's too deep there. They had all three forwards in deep.
This Fratton has really shown some feistiness, though, hasn't he? I mean, here's a guy that's a rookie in the National Hockey League right out of college, and he's got some bite to his game.
Here comes Oshie, speaking of bite. Trying to get around Gardner now in front. Backus! And a quick shot. Turned away by Scrivens.
What a pass by Sobotka.
And the Maple Leafs get it. And long pass to center by Kessel. Picked off. Sobotka has it again. And he looks around. Fires it right into the midsection of Scrivens and no further play.
Now Scrivens is holding the fort for the Toronto Maple Leafs until James Reimer gets back from that head injury. And it brings us now to our Taco Bell big save, and why wouldn't it? From behind the net, TJ Oshie plays it, takes a hit from Gardner, and there's the pass by Sobotka right on the tape to the captain, David Backus. Stick on the ice, good cycle down low, good read and reaction play by that threesome right there. Oshie, Backus, and Sobotka.
And Scrivens' only NHL win. He stopped 38 of 39 in a 4-1 win at Columbus, but was pulled in his last game. Stewart on the faceoff. Shots this period 5-0 for the Blues. And it comes around for Grabowski. He goes outside on Roman Polak. And then Polak runs him off.
Man, did he finish him off. Grabowski was off balance at the very end of that.
Now D'Agostini for Polak. He'll tip it in. Berglund trying to hunt it down against Lyles. And now Commissaric, the former Canadian, to MacArthur up the middle. And then Grabowski trying to split the D. He was taken care of by Ian Cole. And then Polak comes in and is tough on Kuhlman. Blues get it back.
I was watching the goalie Scrivens. He thought that was going to be a penalty. He started darting out from his net, going towards the bench.
Now MacArthur has it deep in his own zone. Second game of a 5-game homestand for the Blues. They're home Saturday against the Steven Stamkos-led Tampa Bay Lightning. For nothing, no hurry here.
And Eric Brewer, the return of the captain.
Yes. He just signed a new deal in Tampa. Now the Blues to center. Grachek can't get there. Played back in by Lyles, and now it's Shattenkirk, Lyles' former teammate. And that pass to the middle. Commissaric no play, so he dumps one to the corner. And Jackman gets it for the Blues. 5:20 gone, third period. Blues down by 1. Here's Nickel. And off the glass, punched back to center ice by Lyles. And now it's Commissaric turning.
Some sloppy play going on there. Both fourth liners of both teams.
Lyles, 90-footer is blockered away by Halak. Here's Pietrangelo. And then it's Steen trying to hit Pietrangelo. He skips by Gardner to the boards. Now it comes free for Arnott. Whiteman is wide open. Koliakovo. Wrist shot, floats over the goal. And now Shen up the middle. Errant pass picked off. Here's Pietrangelo. He moves in a drive, and a pad save by Scrivens.
Good save.
Good pass back. Koliakovo fires it. Rebound, Steen. Oh, highway robbery by Scrivens on Steen. Best chance of the third. Steen gets it again to the front, and that's blocked before Arnott could get there. Now ahead. Steckel trying to knock it down.
Good
and a
play.
stick knocked out of his hands by Pietrangelo. And here are the Blues after a change. The shot's now 8-0 for the Blues.
What a save with the left pad, though, by Scrivens on Steen. Just a fantastic save.
And the Blues break it up at center ice. Oshie is after it, but now Lupul gets it. Spun around by Backes, and it goes deep for Polak.
I think Lupul's hurt. He's holding his right hand. He's going off right now. He jammed his wrist or his hand up against that hit, I think, on David Backes.
And now Phaneuf steps up. Blues break it up. Here comes Backes. He motors by the defense. And then Gunnarsson, back of his own goal. Puck shot around and swatted by Kessel, and they ruled it went off Cole, so no icing here. And Roman Polak steps away from the forecheck. All Blues here in the third, but they still trail 2-1. Now Commissary. MacArthur at center ice. That's gloved down by D'Agostini. His dump in hit a shin pad and bounces back to Polak. Stewart gets it deep. And John Michael Lyles almost gave it up. Koliakovo from the point, and that's off a stick and into the netting. And a whistle. Still 2-1 Leafs.
Well, the Hitchinary is going to continue here in St. Louis from Columbus. And our Geico quote, Ken Hitchcock on teamwork, it's something where the players embrace doing the really hard things rather than finding them to be a burden or a punishment. You take ownership of that, and it's your leaders, your big guys. Our service, our Plaza Tire Service, Fox Exmo, there's the, oh my goodness, it was the glove. From my angle, why did I think it was the pad? Steckel doesn't get to Steen, the puck's there, and boy, getting on his belly was the goaltender Scrivens, but he gets it with his glove.
12 to go in the third. And the Blues down 2-1. Pass up the middle. Steen's stick was knocked out of his hands. Angel, but no call.
You know, it happened earlier in the game, too.
And that is offside.
The Blues did it to, I think it was Grabowski earlier, and I was looked at the Toronto bench, and Ron Wilson was looking for a call, and now this play happens there. A very similar play, and no call. I kind of prefer, Bernie, and maybe you can add to this, there's a lot of times where that's not a penalty.
And I would agree, and that's happened. In fact, that's the second time in this period, because Steckel just got his knocked off, and you can remember in the corner like a couple of minutes ago. So at least they're letting it go both ways, and I agree. You've got to grip your stick, especially with these sticks now. If it's slashed pretty hard, it's going to break. And so these are really not that hard of slashes because the sticks aren't breaking.
By the way, Bernie, good luck in Toronto this weekend at the Hall of Fame ceremonies, and I know you will represent the St. Louis Blues very well. We'll miss you on the weekend, but have a great time, my friend. Thank
you, John. I will have a lot of fun, and I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to seeing Doug Gilmour and listen to what he has to say, which is a wonderful thing for another great St. Louis Blues player.
Now Lyles at center ice. Bounces one back in there, Polak. And then for Ian Cole. His pass just out of the reach of Backes. And the Leafs bank it off the boards, and here they come. It is Lupul, a shot blocked by Polak and out of play.
I like Roman Polak's game right now. Big number 46 for the Blues. He and Ian Cole really formed some nice chemistry. Cole played a lot in the minors with Jake Gannon, right-hand shot veteran guy, and now he's with a big right-hand shot there. This was the play earlier in the period. See, Grabowski was in a vulnerable spot because of where he put himself, and he was off balance, leaning backwards, and Roman Polak did what you're supposed to do and finish his check.
Now it is Berglund. His pass hit a skate. Bounces back. Then on for Pietrangelo. In the cross corner, dump it. And then Luke Shen, nowhere to go with it. Puck comes around for Matthew Lombardi. And he'll play it by Koliakovo. They indicate icing, but the Leafs come in there. And who gets there first? Oh, a great play by Koliakovo. So it is an icing call.
Yep, real good play by Koliakovo, and with midway through the third period. Time for our carsoup.com email the booth question. Joe from Columbia asks, what gets a team back in sync more, a fight, a big hit, or a timeout? I think a big holy jumping gets a team back in it, doesn't it?
That would help.
I'd say there's times when a fight gets a team back in it, there's times when a big hit gets a team back in it, and there's times when a timeout shakes the cobwebs out. Remember, Ken Hitchcock had to take a timeout with 1 minute and 12 seconds left in the first period of this game. Second period was the wake-up call, I think, for the Blues. The adjustments going in the locker room.
Arnott wins it from Steckel, and that's not easy to do. And Alex Steen has it. Tough angle shot at the back of the Maple Leaf goal, and the puck shot, and it goes out of play. Did it hit Cole? I don't know if it did. I think it went out over Cole. And time to check in downstairs for this Bommarito Automotive update, Bernie.
Well, the game plan was simple in this third period. It's just push, and continue to push. And right now it looks like the ice is sloped towards the Toronto zone. But again, they're going to have to find a way to solve this goaltender who's been very good through the first, this is almost 50 minutes here, guys.
Yeah, he sure has been. He's rebounding nicely from a game in which he got pulled.
And what an opportunity for him too, Panger. You know, you see guys get hurt, and Scrivens is getting that opportunity, and he's making the most of it.
Yeah, this is a guy that was at Cornell for 4 seasons. A goalie-rich traditional school, starting with Ken Dryden in the late 60s. And there's, I think he should be called the Goose. He's called the Monster, Gustafsson. But he thinks Scrivens in 2010-11, he played for Reading Royals of the East Coast Hockey League, the Marlies. And then the Marlies again this year, 5 games, and now this is his 4th game with the Leafs, with the big club.
Yeah, let's not forget that Yarrow started in the East Coast Hockey League too.
That's right.
So, you know, you pay your dues and you get an opportunity, you make the best of it.
Here's a drive from the wing by Kuhlman. That missed everything, put up on the line. And then back of the goal, it comes in front. Backhander by MacArthur. And that was turned away by Halai. And now D'Agostini hops on a loose puck with Stewart. To Stewart. He goes after it. That would have been icy, but he got there first. And then D'Agostini seals the boards. Back of the goal now to Stewart. Oh, back is robbed! What a chance there! Stewart pulls up, fires it up high. And I think a blocker safe. Shattenkirk, great job to hold it in. He steps up. What a chance for Backes. Now Backes works in the corner. Swatted away from him. To the line, Sobotka with it. And his shot, that kissed the near goal post. And it bounced just wide. And then Sobotka back to the goal. He wins the battle. Doesn't lose many. Spins off the check. Oh, to the line, and it got by Shattenkirk, and the Blues have to go back.
Because of the matchups there, too, with Toronto. Phaneuf and Sobotka have seen an awful lot of each other in this game. They've had a lot of pretty major collisions, battles for pucks along the boards, and Sobotka doesn't give an inch.
8:45 left in regulation time. The Blues down by 1. Tomasera lost it. Oshie came in and knocked it away. And then Oshie does a 360 on Tomasera. And then Steen to the corner. Shoulders a man down.
Reverse hit.
And then Arnott trying to feed it in front. That was blocked. And the puck put high off the glass and out. And a race for it. Jackman will get there, but no icing.
And with all the pressure that the forwards are putting on Toronto, the D have got to stay in the zone for as long as possible in the offensive zone. Don't bail out. You're getting plenty of support. Toronto made a good play off the glass there. There's no chance for Roman Polak to keep it in.
And now it's Luke Shen. This pass moved in there by Lupol. And a shot by him from the wing, and a good save by Halak. Shots 10-1 for the Blues in the third. Lost Langen runner to center ice. And then for Nickel. Right in front into the glove of Scrivens. And we get the whistle on the eve of Veterans Day. Great symbol of our country. It's 2-1 Toronto.
Military night here at Scott Trade Center with Veterans Day tomorrow. Blues the better of the play in the third period here. Still trailing though 2-1 with 7:40 left in regulation. Missouri Lottery Blues Live comes up immediately following. Of course, plenty of reaction. Also, Darren Pang joins me down here from the broadcast booth with analysis. We'll get Bernie Fedorko's thoughts as well. And don't forget Ken Hitchcock's comments. That and much more ahead on Blues Live. John, Darren, Bernie, looking forward to it.
As we are, Pat, 7:40 left. Face off deep in the Leaf zone. Koliakovo comes in on Lupul. But the Maple Leafs get it. Gunnarsson, long pass. Here's Kessel, look out. Odd man break. And a great play down low by Pietrangelo. He got his foot over. And Stewart back to the Blues. Stewart goes wide. Now to the front. And then Berglund comes in. That shot. Rebound off a skate wide. Someone's lost the stick in there. Back of the goal now for Stewart.
That's Berglund. He went for a change, though.
And now the puck knocked away from D'Agostini. Lupul trying to muscle it out. He can't. Backus had his stick broken, and that is called. Well, we talked about it earlier, but Darren, when you get the evidence like that, it is hard to avoid the call.
What a play by D'Agostini to keep the puck in. But here's the defensive play. Watch the toe there. What a kick save and a beauty by the King City, Ontario native. And here's D'Agostini, keeps this puck in miraculously. And there's the whack by Lupul that breaks the stick. Now, in fairness to the broken stick thing, and I got to be consistent about this, there could have been a time in that shift where there's a weak point in that stick. And it happens. You block a shot, you take a slash before, and then you get it snapped off because of something like that. But, I mean, the stick's in half. Referee ends up making the call.
Power play 1 for 3 for the Blues.
And that actually, Panger was probably no worse than the other two.
Here's Koliakovo.
Oh, bad pass.
To Oshie, now he gets it. Up high, and a save there by Scrivens. Since the second period, the scoring chances 11-2 for the Blues.
Well, the pass over to Oshie here is off the mark. It's set up for a one-timer, and it's just in his feet. It's just too far ahead of him, and that ruins the whole play. And it's an easy save by the goaltender.
Because you had a screen set up and then no screen for Oshie's shot.
Exactly right. It's all a timing mechanism. And you see there, the forward, Philippe Dupuis, he came over way too far towards Koliakovo. Koliakovo sucked him in perfectly.
Marner wins another faceoff from Steckel. Blues get it back. Oshie a shot. That's blocked. Lead player fell down. Here's Oshie to the front. And that's tipped just before Pietrangelo could get it. Held in by Koliakovo. And now Arnott in there. Leafs have 2 men in that corner. Leafs have 3.
Little change on the power play. Stewart's not on this unit, and Jamie Langenbrunner is.
And Steckel broke his stick, but he got it down the ice. Key power play here for the Blues. Down by 1.
Boy, is Langenbrunner giving it to the referee. He was sour with the holdover in the corner.
And Shattenkirk leaves it. Walked in by Berglund. Swings back in the Maple Leaf goal. Now they get possession. Good pass to Steen. Tip in front. Oh, Berglund just missed. What a play. And then Backus. One pass. And another pass. Too hard for Steen. And the puck tipped down the ice by Crabbe. And near the Blues goal.
What a play by Joey Crabbe.
Stole it from Backus.
Look out.
And a shot from an angle was wide, but he just killed about 20 seconds. And then it goes all the way back in the Maple Leaf zone to Gardner. 1:35 to go in the power play. Leafs dump it down the ice.
This is all because of Crabbe. This whole play. Now this is 15, 20 seconds now because of that individual effort.
Well, Shattenkirk, center ice for Steen, and he waited too long, putting Stewart in offside.
Boy, some really, really good puck movement, good scoring chance to tie this game up by the Blues. And see Berglund right up here in the high slot for the redirect, right off the side of the net. It's a set play. Half the Blues thought it was in the net. The timing came from that corner to the right of Scrivens, and then it goes to the left, so it's another against the grain play. High slot tip in. Perfectly executed, just off the mark.
And I'm so sure that Scrivens wouldn't have had that, a piece of it, if it would have been on the net too, Panger. He got across pretty good there, didn't he?
Yep, good lateral push.
And the puck gets by Pietrangelo on the point. And 5 to go in Lupul's minor. And they're tossed down by Gunnarsson. The Blues one shot on that power play. And they're down by 1. Under 5 to play, third period. Here comes Arnott. He has the Blues goal tonight. Lupul trying to clear it. And Lyles on the boards. He was pickpocketed by Arnott. Now Oshie back on the goal. Oshie for Stewart. Stewart back in front. Oshie missed it. Rolling puck. Comes to Pietrangelo. And that's blocked by Lupul. Good play. And then the Blues go in offside. Stewart thought he had cleared the zone. Time a big factor now with the Leafs up by 1 late.
Scrivens has been the difference here. 33 shots on goal for the St. Louis Blues. Scrivens on the road. Third period shots. Roman Polak. Big blast right there. No rebound. From the side, a great chance from David Backes. This will be a recurring theme. David Backes in the slot and stopped by Scrivens. Backes, that one there was the Berglund high tip on the power play. But Backes himself has had 3 quality scoring chances right on the doorstep. Scrivens has been excellent.
Blues have gone 3-0-1 in their last 4 against the Maple Leafs. Now Shattenkirk for Langenbrunner. On with Nickel and Sabotka. They get the center ice and then overskate it. MacArthur scoops it back in there. And Shattenkirk hit by Grabowski. Shattenkirk gets it back on the far wing for Sabotka. And his clearing attempt. Now he does get it out for Nickel. He'll smash it in there. Langenbrunner in a race there against Fratton. And then Fratton pulls up and leaves it for the captain, Phaneuf. Steen was all over him. Risky pass up the middle. Steckel makes the play, though, and he gets it all the way down the ice. 3:40 left in regulation. Here's Oshie back to get it for the Blues. Up the wing for Steen. And then Pietrangelo joins the play. Backes in front. Steen wide open, a shot. And that's blocked by Steckel.
Oh, he just hesitated for a split second before firing that puck.
And now Steen gets it free back of the goal. Backes missed it. Pietrangelo kept it in. And that rooster was well wide. Here's Koliakovo from the other side. And then Oshie follows up. Good pass. Backes in front. Koliakovo in the area. And barely kept in by Oshie. A shot. Rebound. Oh, Steen is stopped close in by Scrivens. Steen again for Koliakovo. Pressure again by the Blues. Under 3 to play. And then Backes to Pietrangelo. Now to Koliakovo. In the middle, Oshie. And he was open. He defers to Koliakovo. Steen back to the goal. And then to Backes. He missed the pass. Leafs don't clear it. And then a shot off the leg. They don't get it out again. Oshie to Backes. Drops it. Steckel knocked down. What pressure by the Blues. Backes. And that blast is blocked. Again, the Leafs again lead the league in blocked shots. 17 tonight. Up the middle. Tipped in by D'Agostini. He flies by Schenn. D'Agostini trying to get it in the corner. Lobs one to Stewart. But now Gardner there, up the boards. Cole pinches
Good
it.
pinch right there. Good read by Cole.
And Cole gets it. The shot. And that was wide of the goal. Comes to Shattenkirk. Great pass. Berglund a shot. Rebound. The score! Berglund ties the game. Unbelievable.
Well, you could see this coming. Tremendous pressure. Shift after shift. Player after player. Coming at Ben Scrivens absolutely in waves. All Ron Wilson could do was look on as the momentum was building against the Leafs. Great credit to Steen. He's had a number of chances, working down low, taking a hit to make the play. Steen has another opportunity right here on the doorstep. Tries to go high. A great save there by Scrivens. And then the Blues finally get her going with the rebound and a jam play by the Swede, Patrick Berglund.
His 4th of the year. First in 6 games. And off the face-off, the Blues ice it. And they tie the game at 18:04. As they just wore the Leafs down in the 3rd.
Welcome back to the National Hockey League, Ken Hitchcock. Your blood's got to be just a-jumping. Plaza Tire Service, Fox, Exmo. The rebound, the save. Luke Schenn's down there. The blue sweaters are there. And Berglund sniffs it out.
Stewart and Shattenkirk get the assists.
Can't be a letdown now, though.
Big shift now. Shattenkirk with another assist. That's 7 in 7 games. A shot for the point just wide.
And you know that Toronto's such a quick counter team. We know that Kessel can come out of nowhere to get a scoring chance.
And the Blues get it to the right point or left point and clear it away. And then Sabotka rocked Phaneuf with a hit.
It's about the 5th or 6th time that they've had a head-on collision.
Now MacArthur up the middle here for Grabowski, wide open, and Halak made a big save. He came across on Mike Brown, I believe.
That's what I'm talking about. Look at that chance.
Look at the Leafs here. Grabowski, his pass hit a skate, bounces wide of the goal. Oshie knocked it away, and now Koliakovo in the final minute comes up the middle, and a clear there for the Blues. Turned over at center. It's Oshie. Oshie, the drive, right on goal! And Scrivens the save after Steen forced a turnover at the line.
Good save by Halak down at the other end. And this is exactly what typically can happen. You're so emotional, you've had wave after wave of opportunity. You're out chancing, out shooting, you tie it up. And then there's this. Fourth line of Toronto comes on the ice, and Brown's right on the doorstep. Oshie goes the other way, though. Nice little snapper underneath, and a good save by Scrivens getting that pad down low.
47 seconds left in regulation. Berglund back out with D'Agostini and Stewart. Draw one by Steckel. Comes back to the captain, Phaneuf. And then dumped into the blue zone by Dupuis. Here's Shattenkirk under some heat from the Leafs. And he gets it away from the skates of Joey Crabb. Like a 15-year veteran. Very calmly onto center ice to Stewart. Great pass through a seam to Berglund. In front, and the Leafs got back to break it up.
Classic 3-on-2 counter.
And then it's dumped down the ice by Dupuis. 15 to go in the third period. What a comeback by the Blues. 16 third period shots. Stewart lobs it in. Commissara, he guns it around. Tip to center ice. 3 seconds left here, and we will go to overtime for the second time this year. But what a third period for the Blues. Bernie, you got to love it down there.
You got to love it. Everybody in the building is standing right now, so this is exactly it. Well, Hitch told us in the second period interview that, hey, the guys were coming, they were coming, and they certainly were coming. Look at the shots on goal for the last 2 periods have been incredible, and it's really the goaltending has been the issue for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Without Scrivens, they would not be where they are right now. So, again, a 5-minute overtime, though. No time to take a break. You need the second point now, guys.
And the Blues play overtime for the second time. They beat Carolina in overtime a few weeks ago.
Yep. Time now for a Mazda drive to the net. Jason Arnott doing the work down low. Pietrangelo and Koliakovo get helpers. And then the tying goal here at 18:04. Stewart will get an assist. Berglund gets the game-tying goal, his 4th. We talked an awful lot about the special teams for Stewart and Berglund. 2 guys that had to raise their level of play. And the coaching change gets made. The red light goes on for those 2 young, powerful players.
I mentioned the Blues' only other overtime game. D'Agostini scored in overtime to beat Carolina. So they're 1-0. The Leafs this year, 2-1 in extra time.
That was a pretty goal by D'Agostini, driving hard to the net on Cam Ward on an excellent hockey game. And this, too, has been just exhilarating for the last 2 periods. The stick-to-itiveness and the commitment to stay with it from St. Louis. Trailing 1-0 on Lyles, trailing 2-0 on Kessel. 2 power play goals in the first, but yet the final 40 minutes have really been all Blue Note.
They outshot them 29-8 in the last 2 periods, outscored them 2-0. 4-on-4. And off the face-off, Phaneuf carries it ahead to center ice. His pass and a shot by Kessel missed by about 3 inches. And then one headed ahead by Pietrangelo for Oshie. Oshie works it into Koliakovo. And he can't get free for a shot. Look out, Kessel's away. 2-on-2 here, Kessel to the slot. And that shot was blocked. Blues don't know where it is, but Oshie finds it. Quickly on to David Backes. Backes. And they're going to say it was offside.
Well, two great young American hockey players. They represent USA hockey in a big way, Phil Kessel and David Backes. Remember last year at the All-Star game, Backes was the representative for the St. Louis Blues. Phil Kessel went, he was the last pick in the new lottery selection there by the captains of the All-Star game. Walked away with a car and a donation to a charity of his choice for a whole bunch of fishnagels.
Now Lyles will pass. That hit the linesman. That's a break for the Blues. And Patrick Berglund for Shattenkirk. Drops it off to Steen. A shot and a save by Scrivens. And no further play. What a play by Shattenkirk.
I guess so. Shattenkirk's elusive. You know, Ken Hitchcock likes to think that Shattenkirk has got an awful lot of Brian Rafalski, who just retired. There's Shattenkirk. Just gets away from the check, gets it over to Steen. And a quick shot there. But Brian Rafalski, another great U.S.-born hockey player. And Shattenkirk, I think, might be a little bit more on the sturdy physical side. Maybe certainly Rafalski, just such a headsy player, just such a terrific player.
Shattenkirk now with 10 points is tied for the club lead with 10 points.
His upside is high.
Yes, it is.
It's going to get higher and higher. Just a respectful, likable kid, and it was great to see him at Bob Plager's roast last night, along with Alex Steen, Barrett Jackman, who bought Bob Plager's sweater.
There's Phaneuf. He goes wide, a shot. Missed on the short side, comes around for Lupul. And the former Duck floats one to the corner.
And David Perron also on hand for the roast.
It was a fun evening.
Along with Bernie Federico, John Kelly, just a great turnout.
And you were one of the roasters last night. Did a wonderful job. Lupul right up the gut. Back check. And knocked away by Jason Arnott. Arnott in with D'Agostini. To D'Agostini. And then the late man to Cole. Cole goes back to the goal. Pollock's open, so is D'Agostini. He gets it. One shot block. Now D'Agostini again.
Needs some help.
4-on-4 overtime here. 2:45 to go. And the Leafs pull up. And John Michael Lyles as both teams execute changes on the go. And Lyles cautiously to center. And then Kessel has to go the other way.
And he's going to wind her up, and he's not going to dump the puck in. He's a puck possession guy.
He goes all the way back behind his own goal.
I like it. He's fun to watch.
And that was a bad pass, but he got away with it because it goes on goal. Now Halak, speaking of long passes, got away with that one. And then walked in by Oshie. Oshie tries a toe drag on Phaneuf. Now back to the goal. Gardner trying to move it. Backes had stepped up but can't hold it in. And Oshie again, he's been all over the ice. And now back in the blue zone, grabbed by Pietrangelo. Under 2 to play in overtime. Here comes Pietrangelo to center ice. Puts it by Gardner. And then MacArthur stole it. And the Leafs have it deep in their own zone. Gunnarsson, he gave it away to Backes. Good pickoff. What a play by Backes to Shattenkirk. What a move around a man, and he can't get a shot. And now Shattenkirk again for Berglund. That shot blocked. Steen, a backhander, didn't get through.
A lot of golden opportunities. Just one toe drag too many.
And Gardner over there against Steen. Gunnarsson. This pass to MacArthur. And he is under a lot of pressure there. Now Gardner trying to move it away. There's Steen and Berglund all over the Leafs in their own zone. Now Grabowski. The late man is Lupul. Look out, a shot. Hit a body, went wide. Lupul back to the goal.
1 minute to play in overtime.
Final minute now in overtime. Lupul for Grabowski. Phaneuf cannot hold it in. The puck bounced on him. And now Grabowski along feed down the boards. That hit Mike Sivic, the linesman. And then Lyles comes into the front. Turned away and a great foot pass by Sobotka. And Stewart to center ice. 2-on-2. To the middle. Now Pietrangelo walks in. A shot on goal and a save by Scrivens.
Oh, I thought that was slow enough. It got slowed down. I thought it was slow enough that maybe Scrivens was going to overreact.
And
that's going to be offside.
Is offside.
Somebody got his right pad on that. Boy, end-to-end action here in overtime. Face off now to the left of Scrivens. Lots of time, 25.5 seconds to go. Here's the off, just a little offset right there, and then he reacts, and then, woo, got that pad down. I mean, it's an easy save, but it's the timing of it.
And now 25 to go in the overtime.
Mellenby's yelling about the ice puck. But it being an icing, will you hear him down there?
Well, yeah, he said that Phaneuf was the one that iced the puck, and he's not on.
Oh, good point.
Now the Blues win the faceoff. Koliakovo for Pietrangelo. Up front, Arnott and D'Agostini. Oh, Arnott had just wanted a penalty called. It's against the Leafs with 13 seconds left.
Well, Scott Mellenby was right about that, though. And so Phaneuf goes off, gets a change, but now Gunnarsson's battling Arnott. He hooks him up with the stick on the right side, but the goaltender is actually the one that tangles them up at the end. Keep in mind, only 13.5 seconds remaining for this limited power play, and then it's off to a shootout if there's no goal scored.
Well, they're by the Blues bench, but the Blues used their timeout in the first period.
And you do want to win this if you can in regulation or in the overtime, because it really counts more at the end of the year if you're in a tie.
That's
so
right.
This is very important right here.
And Steckel wins the faceoff. Now the Blues on the power play. It's 4-on-3, but they need the puck. Trying to work it away from that corner. Phaneuf, a good job. Out high now. Shattenkirk, the shot. Oshie at the buzzer. And it stopped and then goes wide, and we will go to a shootout for the first time this season.
What an effort by Phaneuf in front of the net, and his goaltender gives him a pat because he blocked that shot right in front. Blocked that shot. Wicked drive. Stopped there once. Phaneuf's there. Gunnarsson took the first one. Phaneuf took the second one. And we got the shootout. It's coming up next.
For the second straight year, the Blues and Leafs go to a shootout. It is a shootout at Scott Trade. A great comeback by the Blues. The late goal to tie it by Berglund. No scoring in overtime, and now we go to a shootout.
Give the Blues a lot of credit. They stuck to it. They weren't very good in the first. They weren't moving their feet. But boy, did they play great in the final 40 as we recap the scoring. Power play goal, John Michael Lyles. And then the pass ends up going across, and there is Phil Kessel right on the doorstep. Lupo got a help on that one, but Jason Arnott slides out to the high slot, rifles it home for his fourth, a power play goal. Then in the third period, the heat was on, and it took till the 18:04 mark before Berglund could snipe, tying the game up and sending this crowd on its feet. Great setting at Scottrade in that third period. A lot of Toronto area natives. It's always special, you know, playing against a team they might have grown up cheering for. There's Elliott, Pietrangelo, Porter, McDonald, Stewart, Koliakovo, Arnott, Scott Mellenby.
Last year, the Blues in shootouts were 4-6. It's their first of the year. The Leafs this year 1-0 in a shootout. And the Blues have the option of shooting first or second, and they will shoot first. Steen will shoot for the Blues. In on Scrivens. Here he comes, Steen. Oh, and a great pad save! I thought he had him beat.
He just has to elevate that puck on the forehand, but Scrivens looks like he's beat. Keep your eye on his right pad. One down. You know, this is going to be close, too. How far was that pad inside the goal line?
Yeah, it could be reviewed.
Yeah. Nope, good save. Great save right there. Great save by Scrivens.
And almost impossible. You don't have enough leverage there to get that up there because you're so extended your arms.
And Phil Kessel will be the first shooter for the Maple Leafs against Halak. He's right up the middle with his great speed. Kessel. And he scores. He wrapped it under the left pad of Halak.
Kept going with speed wide. Kept it on his backhand and extended. A very similar play, just opposite shooters than the move by Steen. Kessel, he's a shooter, but now he's a deker. And he goes wide, 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 and it goes outside.
And Oshie will shoot for the Blues. So the Leafs Up by 1 after 1 round. And of course, each team gets 3 shooters. Oshie with some sick hands, as they say in hockey. We'll see what he does. Oshie flips it, and another pad save. Wow. Scrivens got over, and now the Leafs could win it with a goal.
That is some sick legs there by Scrivens. Holy jumping. That's like Gumby. Here, whoop! There he goes, and to the outside. Oh, he's almost on his stomach by the end of it. He got razzle-dazzled one way, but somehow he just gets that skate blade against the post, pad tightly on the ice, and another good one.
And now Grabowski, he could win the shootout right here. And he winds up. See if Halak can shut him down. And the backhander, and Yarrow got over with the pad.
Did he ever? So a right-hander goes to his forehand on the glove side. A left-hander, Grabowski, goes to his backhand. And that just glanced, if I'm not mistaken, Bernie, off the pad or the glove.
Yeah, just I think it was a pad, I think, Banger. Now, right-handed shot. I'd like to see a high glove here shot, maybe over the glove here on Scrivens.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Typical, you know, of a young goaltender, dropping the glove the closer you get.
Exactly.
His legs are too good down low.
And now D'Agostini must score for the Blues to extend it. Here he comes. And a save by Scrivens. And he was a story tonight. A pad save, and the Leafs win in a shootout.
That's the first shootout win for Scrivens. And he bounced back brilliantly after his last game. That's a sign of a kid with a lot of character. I'm not a big fan of this choice by Matt D'Agostini. From a goaltender's point of view, I don't think there could be an easier shot selection than that one right there. Didn't really force him to do anything. You got the blocker, you got the stick, and you got the pad right there, and there was no change of angle whatsoever. Our Bud Light player of the game is the goaltender, Ben Scrivens from Spruce Grove, Alberta. He was brilliant, especially in that second and third period.
And that's the reason the Leafs got to overtime in the first place with his play. Leafs win it in a shootout 3-2. St. Louis Blues hockey is an exclusive presentation of Fox Sports Midwest. Join us Saturday night as the Blues take on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Coverage starts at 6:30. Stay tuned. Missouri Lottery Blues Live comes your way next.